Hello everybody, so I just got back from seeing Deadpool 2, and as you can tell, I'm not, oh god, I can't even get my phone to stay still. Okay, there we go. Actually, it's kind of crooked. Let's fix it. Anyways, oh god, this is gonna take a while, isn't it? As you can tell, I'm not terribly sick anymore. If you saw my Black Panther video, I was, very sick. It's 2 weeks now, right? 2 weeks today I was sick, but today I wouldn't say I'm sick anymore. I feel fine. But anyways, about the movie. Still got a little tiny bit of, what you call it? A cough? I don't know. The movie was very good. No spoilers here, but I'll talk spoilers at the end of this video, as I usually do for my movie reviews. One thing I want to say right away, I watched a couple of reviews for this. I may have watched Jeremy Johns and Chris Stuckman and maybe one other person. I think that was it, but you know, obviously spoiler free, right? I watched a couple of reviews before I saw this just to get an idea of like, okay, let's see how it is. And one of the reviewers, I don't mean to like call them out or anything because I'm not even sure which one said it, but one of them said something that kind of spoiled something for me, like not like specifically, but they like vaguely said something that kind of like made me expect a certain thing to happen in the movie, but I'm not gonna say. So I advise anybody, if you haven't seen the movie yet, don't check out reviews because I can't remember who said it particularly, but somebody might say something. But just know that the movie is very good, in my opinion. It's been getting, you know, generally good reviews. But also, something I want to say, those reviews, a lot of them were saying the movie wasn't as good as the first one. It wasn't like all that, it was kind of mediocre. I don't see that at all. I thought the movie was like really, really good. I thought it was a lot better than the first movie. There was only like one thing in particular that like kind of, you know, weakened the movie for me a bit, and I'll get to that in the spoilers actually. Because, well, I don't know, maybe I could talk about it. Actually, no. I would kind of do the same thing that person did. I can't say what it is, but I'll talk about it later. But for me, just one kind of major problem. Well, not major, but like one problem to make it the movie not so, you know, perfect or anything like that. But overall, I thought it was a good time. I thought it was super funny. You know, I thought it was funnier than the first one. There were definitely a lot more jokes. Definitely a lot more action, I think, in my opinion, right? Yeah, pretty sure there was more action. I don't know, just all around, I thought it was better than the first one, and I really liked the first one. I don't remember what rating I gave it, but I imagine it was probably like either an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. You know, also at the time, you know, I always do these reviews right after I see the movie, so I'm like super high on the movie, I guess you could say, so I'll always give it like a good score. Maybe down the road I'll change my mind on it. In my mind, I'd say the first Deadpool is maybe an 8 out of 10. I can't remember what I gave it. This one right now, I would give an 8.5 or maybe even a 9. I'm probably going to end up saying 8.5 later on, but for now, maybe not a 9, I don't know. But I thought it was really good, though, for sure. Like, just a great time, for real. Like, I'm sure everybody's going to see it anyways, so, you know, I'm sure it's going to make a ton of money. Might do better than the first movie, I don't know. But yeah, just awesome follow-up to Infinity War for me, at least. You know, another Marvel movie, you know, the month after Infinity War. Also has Josh Brolin, who did great in the movie. You know, the whole cast was great. All the returning characters, all the new characters were awesome. Yeah, I mean, all around, just good. Like I said, one major thing, but I can't really talk about it here. It's not like it's not a plot thing. Well, actually, it kind of is a plot thing. It's more of like a tone thing, like, you know, an overall tone of the movie. There's a certain tone throughout it that's kind of like, I don't know, it's just, I can't talk about it right now, it's spoiler free. Yeah, but everybody is great. The action was phenomenal. And there's a lot of great tie-ins to other X-Men references and stuff like that, which I'll talk more later. And, oh, I need to warn you, this isn't a spoiler, but there's no scene after the credits, okay? You need to know this, because we're just sitting during the credits. There's a scene during the credits, which is good, like a, you know, a mid-credit scene, which I will talk about, because that mid-credit scene is, I heard about it, you know, I didn't hear, like, what it was, but I heard, like, this movie has the best mid-credit scene ever, and that is true, because it really is the best mid-credit scene ever. I can't say what it is right now, but at the end of this video I will. That scene is oh my god, it's the first thing I'm going to talk about in the spoiler section, okay? But there's no scene after the credits, so don't waste your time sitting in the theater while the credits are rolling. Just walk up, and I know it's weird to see someone walk, get out of their seat and leave during a Marvel movie's credits. People are going to look at you like, what are you doing? But ahead of time, there's no scene at the end of the credits. Just, I promise you, there isn't. Anyways, yeah, so anything else I could talk about that's not a spoiler? I guess I could say the director, David Leitch, however you pronounce his name. He was a stuntman originally. Then he became, a director, I guess. And I guess you could say he's an actor, right? He did a good job. He was the director of both John Wick movies, I think. I know the first John Wick had 2 directors. And then the second one was just him, I think. So he did those, and he did Atomic Blonde, which I didn't see, but I heard was good, I guess. So he did a good job with this. The first movie had, what's his name, Tim Miller, but he ended up, leaving the project. Creative differences, whatever. But this guy did a good job. I liked his style. And he definitely knows action. I mean, he's a stuntman. So, yeah, a lot of good action in this. The story was good. Like I said, all the characters were great. Can't really think of much else to say. Like, usually all my movie reviews, I'm always like, yeah, the movie was good and all this was good. Because I'm typically not like a person to hate on a movie. Like, if I know a movie's going to be bad, I don't go to see it. Like, I only go to see movies that I'm like really invested in, you know what I'm saying? And I know are going to be, good. Like, for instance, like, no offense to the DC fans, right? Justice League, Batman v Superman, I purposely didn't go to the theaters to see those because I thought they were going to be bad, and they kind of are bad. I'm sorry. Suicide Squad, for instance, though, I went to theaters to see that, and I love that movie. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I personally love it. I'm glad I went to theaters to see it because I love Suicide Squad. I know it's not a great movie or anything. It's got a ton of problems, yes, but I personally really liked it. So, yeah, just, all my reviews are kind of the same. I never really have any negative reviews. I don't think I have any on my channel. I don't know. But anyways, definitely go see this. Like, I'm sure you're going to anyways, but really good. And don't listen to everybody saying it's not as good as the first one. Trust me. Take it from me. Here's a person right here that thinks it is. It's a lot better, I think. But, it's your own opinion, whatever. So don't go in thinking, oh, it's not going to be as good. Oh, no. Because me, like I said, here's my thing with the first movie. Obviously you got to do the origin story, and there's a lot of origin in that movie. So I was always excited for Deadpool 2 because you don't need an origin. It's going to be Deadpool the whole movie, right? So that's another thing I really like over the first movie. The first movie, of course, you got to have the origin and the backstory and all that stuff. So, yeah. Yeah, don't have much else to say. So that's it for the spoiler-free part. Only 8 minutes. I'm sorry for that, but that's just how it is. Excuse me. Alright, so spoilers. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Come back to this if I'm sorry, I kind of said it too late. I'm sure you already clicked off the video. But I was going to say, when you see the movie, come back and watch the rest of this video. Okay. So that mid-credit scene. Alright. Here's the thing I heard about this movie, right? I saw something online that said this movie has a cameo in it that was impossible. They got some actor to do this cameo, and it's like this great big mystery. Like, oh, what's this mystery cameo that the movie has? I was like watching it the whole time, like wondering. And, always in the back of my mind, as you can see right here, I'm wearing my Logan shirt, right? Because I love that movie, and I love, Wolverine's my favorite comic book character, superhero, whatever you want to call him. I was thinking, oh, maybe they got Hugh Jackman to do it one more time. Maybe it's just a quick thing. Maybe he's playing himself, whatever. Not necessarily Wolverine, because, he retired from the role with Logan. So I was thinking, what if, because Ryan Reynolds is always trying to get Hugh Jackman to be in, a Deadpool movie. So I was thinking, maybe they got Hugh Jackman. Maybe they got him. And at the start of the movie, they showed the, the little Logan thing with the little toy that was spinning. That was funny. I was like, are they foreshadowing something? Because they're obviously referencing Logan and all that stuff. So I was expecting, maybe throughout the movie, okay, where is it? Now, the impossible cameo was Brad Pitt, if you didn't know. It's that scene where the X-Force are jumping out of the plane and they all get killed, which was hilarious, by the way. The invisible guy, Vanisher, he flies into the electrical cables, and for a split second you see a person, right? And I literally said, I was like, is that Brad Pitt? Because it kind of looked like Brad Pitt. I mean, I couldn't tell because it was a split second. And then during the credits, I guess it was good to stay during the credits, I guess, because it was confirmed. When the cast names were coming up, it said Brad Pitt as the Vanisher. So it was Brad Pitt. So I was like, oh, that was the cameo. So still, throughout the whole movie, I wasn't sure if that was Brad Pitt. But the whole movie went on, and I was like, where's this cameo at? It might have been Brad Pitt, maybe it wasn't. So then they show the mid-credit scene. He gets the time travel device. So I was like, are they going to resurrect Wolverine or something? Is he going to go back in time to the Logan scene, the funeral or whatever, and then, where he got impaled by the tree? Is he going to prevent that from happening or something? But no. Sorry, I still got a bit of a cough, like I said. It wasn't that, but honestly, when I tell you I was like, I couldn't breathe when I was laughing. I really couldn't, because it was that hilarious. When he goes back to, first he saves Vanessa, which is awesome. So I guess she's not dead now, which is great. But then he goes back in time and he kills the X-Men Origins Wolverine, Deadpool, which was hilarious. And no, I was like hoping, wait, maybe Hugh Jackman is going to film a snippet of footage for that scene right there. No, they just used the old footage from that movie of him just like looking, at the Deadpool. I guess you can call it the Deadpool. When he has his claws out and he's looking at him. They just used stock footage from X-Men Origins. So that wasn't Hugh Jackman doing new footage or anything. I was kind of hoping, maybe he'll do a thing right there. Like, oh, who are you? Like, what is going on right now? You just killed that guy? But anyways, that was so funny because Deadpool kept shooting him and shooting him. So technically we got to see Wolverine and Deadpool together, sort of. But, and then the cherry on top, Ryan Reynolds with the Green Lantern script. Oh my god, that killed me. Like, the first snippet where he killed the other Deadpool, that was like gut bust laughing. But when he killed Ryan Reynolds reading the Green Lantern script, oh my god, I could not contain myself. The whole theater was dying. I find it funny too, because Ryan Reynolds met his wife, Blake Lively, through Green Lantern. So if he never made that movie, he would have never met his wife. I mean, you could say maybe they'd end up meeting some other way because they're both actors. But, I find it funny, though, because, he's got a wife and kids now because of that. But I get it. That movie's horrible, right? I've never seen it, but I've only heard bad things about it. So that was spectacular. Like, really. I'm not even mad that there wasn't a scene at the end of the credits, because that was amazing. Like I said, really, that was the best end credit scene for any of the any movie. Literally, any movie. Give me one. That was better. Oh man, Jesus. So that was great. Alright, now I mentioned, Vanessa, his love interest. Now here's the thing, what I mentioned earlier. One of the reviewers I watched said something tragic happens in the movie very early on. So that's how I knew, okay, it's gotta be Vanessa dies or something, because that's the only, that's his love interest. That's the only tragic thing I could think of that would happen. And yes, early on in the movie, there's a scene with Vanessa. It's like the only scene she's in, really, technically. It's a long scene. If you don't count the little, heaven-esque scene she's in throughout the rest of the movie. That's like the only scene she's in, so I'm expecting, okay, she's about to get killed. And when the guys break in, I'm like, okay, she's about to die. Even, honestly, though, if that reviewer didn't mention the tragic thing, I would have expected her to die anyways as soon as that scene started. I was like, okay, she's going to die right here. So that kind of sucked. I mean, it's not a huge deal, like I said, because, if I went into the movie not knowing a tragic thing would happen, like I said, it looked like she was about to get killed anyways, so it's whatever. But it looks like, I guess, she's alive now. I don't know. I'm assuming that's canon, the scene in the credits where he's time traveling. I assume that's canon. But now the fact that he went back and killed the other Deadpool, wait, is that even canon? And then he killed... Obviously, those are just throwaway jokes, I guess. The Ryan Reynolds with the Green Lantern script. That's obviously not real. To this universe, right? So I assume the only one that actually took place was him saving her. So I guess she's alive now in future movies. So that's good. But I do like that, she was the driving force throughout the movie and stuff like that. And also, and this is what I mentioned earlier, my one complaint. I thought the movie, it's good to be dramatic. I get it. You got to have drama no matter what. The first Deadpool had a good amount of drama during this, when he's getting tortured and whatnot, and then, he turns ugly, and he's like, "What have you done to me?" and blah blah blah, and that whole part is very dramatic, and a few other things in there. But this movie had a lot of drama, like a little bit too much. Like that, when I mentioned earlier the tone of the movie, there's a lot of very dramatic parts. When Vanessa died, that was like, whoa, that was very dramatic. The scene where he's dying, which was hilarious. By the way, for a second, I thought maybe he is going to actually die here. And he technically did, but then Cable went back in time or whatever. So there was a lot of heavy drama. Now, that's not a bad thing necessarily. I thought the drama was good. It wasn't bad drama either. Everything about it was fine. The acting was fine. It really hit your emotions and stuff. The Celine Dion music, which is funny that they even got that to happen. That's all good. It's just, I thought there was a little bit too much. They could have trimmed it down just a little bit. I don't know. It got a little too heavy for this kind of movie. But, it's fine. It's not like I said, it's not a bad thing necessarily. But that was just like my one thing. If they would have toned down the... You know what? I just realized I didn't give the movie a rating. Well, I guess I did earlier in the spoiler-free section. Did I? I gave it like an 8.5, right? Okay. I guess that's what I'm going to stick with, because I didn't say, oh, it's actually a 9. No, I think it is an 8.5 now I think about it. Anyways, I'm going off on like a tangent. You know what? I really geeked out when they showed Beast and Quicksilver and whoever else was in that room. I was like, oh my god, look! That was another part where I was expecting Hugh Jackman to show up, because Deadpool's like, can the studio throw us a bone? It's always Colossus and Negasonic, too long to say your name or whatever. And then they very quickly show in a room, I guess that was Nicholas Hoult as Beast, and then Quicksilver, which is weird with the timelines. It's like, those are the younger versions from this, 70s and 80s, and Dark Phoenix is supposed to take place in the 90s, but it's the continuity for the X-Men franchise is so screwed up anyways. But I thought that was so crazy. I couldn't see who else was in that room with them, but I saw Quicksilver, Evan Peters, and I saw Beast, Nicholas Hoult. So that was like, whoa. But yeah, I'm sure if I look it up online right now, somebody maybe has a picture, they took a picture of it or something, or they saw every person, and I could find out who it was. But that was so crazy. I geeked out for that, because I love the X-Men franchise. A lot of people don't like it, but the only two I think are bad are X-Men 3: The Last Stand and X-Men Origins Wolverine. And I don't hate those movies either. Like I can watch them, but they're the only ones I consider bad. Just like I consider Iron Man 2 bad, but I can watch that movie no problem. I mean, there's annoying things in it, there's bad things in it. It's just, the rest of the MCU is great. Iron Man 2 is the only bad one, I would say. Same with the X-Men franchise. I think those two movies are bad, but I could watch them no problem. And there's a lot of stuff in them that I actually do like. But I acknowledge that they're bad movies. But the rest of the franchise, I like. I don't get the hate for X-Men Apocalypse. I mean, I kind of get it. Especially for comic book fans who don't like how Apocalypse was handled or something. Certain characters don't get to do much in that movie. I get it. But I don't get the super hatred towards it to include it with Last Stand and Origins Wolverine as being really bad. I liked X-Men Apocalypse. I thought it was a solid movie. That's the word I always use to describe X-Men Apocalypse, is solid. I thought it was a solid movie. But anyways, that's another rant. But that was so cool. That was really awesome. I really want to find out who else cameoed in that. But yeah, any other spoilers? I like the time travel stuff with Cable. Domino, great character. Everything was awesome in the movie, pretty much. The opening, the animated titles, and then the little credits. They're like, what? Did they just kill her? Written by the real villains here, or whatever? Which is the opposite of the first movie, which said written by the real heroes here. Directed by one half of the people that killed John Wick's dog, or whatever, which is funny. Because like I said, the director of this was one of the 2 directors of John Wick. So I got that reference. But there were so many good jokes throughout the movie, so many, fourth wall break jokes, and I love all the X-Men tie-ins too. Like I mentioned earlier, there was a good chunk of the movie that was dedicated towards X-Men stuff. You know, he wore the X-Men shirt. He was a trainee, and then he was at the mansion for a good amount of time, and he's, you know, in the wheelchair, and they had the cameos. So that was great. I love that stuff. I love that stuff. Oh man, I just love that they really tied it in like that. Yeah. So I don't think I have any much else to say that's a spoiler. I got pretty much all the big stuff out the way. I guess I could talk about Deadpool's death scene a little more, because like I said, I actually believed he might die there, because Ryan Reynolds mentioned in some interview that, oh, there might not be a Deadpool 3. Obviously, he's probably going to make a third one at least, come on. I thought, oh, maybe he is going to die right here, and it makes sense for what the theme of this movie is, you know what I mean? Because he's like, oh, I got nothing to live, I've been wanting to die. But no, Vanessa's like, oh, you have a family now, and, that was cool. So I get why they didn't kill him, but they had me believing it for a second. And then the whole thing with, he kept dying. Like, he thought he was dead, but he's actually still alive. And I was like, okay, that's good for comedy. Come on. Deadpool's death scene would have to be funny, obviously. But then, I thought it was cool when Cable went back in time and he put the token in his Deadpool's pocket, I guess, and the bullet stopped it. So that was a good thing that they did right there. I like that. Oh, and I need to talk about the kid, the Fire Fist, whatever his name is, Russell. At first, I didn't like him. There were parts of the movie where I didn't like him, but there were parts of the movie that I thought he was great. Like, so I was kind of like, it was kind of a mixed bag for me. But by the end of the movie, I actually really did like the kid. There were just a few times in the movie where I just thought he was like, oh my god, this kid's like really annoying. Like, can you just not be this way? But overall, I thought he was good. I changed my mind on that. And then, I should talk about the Juggernaut. You know what? When they showed the Juggernaut for the first time, I was like, oh no. Are they making fun of X-Men The Last Stand? Because in that movie, Juggernaut was in it, but he was played by, what's his name? God, I can't remember his name. Midnight Meat Train. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. That guy. That English guy. I can't remember his name for the life of me. Hold on a minute. There's a movie over here that he's in. Where is it? I just mentioned it. Lock, Stock. Here it is. Okay, let's see if I can find his name on here. Okay. In X-Men 3, he was played by this guy. I can't remember his name right now. Is he in the credits? Vinnie Jones. There you go. And that became a meme because, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. I was like, oh no, are they bringing out that Juggernaut? No, they did not, thankfully. They brought a new Juggernaut that I assume is more faithful to the comic books. He's like very huge and he's very aggressive, and I don't know who played him because he was wearing a mask, so I don't know if that was anybody in particular, but I assume comic book fans are going to like that. So that was funny. But like I said, at first I was like, oh no, is this an X-Men 3 callback thing to like cringe at? But no, it wasn't, so that's good. So that was funny. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else to mention in particular. No Stan Lee cameo, but I did notice during the scene where they're going to go to the truck to get the kid, the big action scene, the second action sequence in the movie, I guess you could say. The one where they're driving down the street and everything's exploding and all that stuff. They show an overhead shot of like the street, and like there's a building on the right side of the screen, and there's a painting of Stan Lee on it. I said, oh look, Stan Lee. So he wasn't in the movie, but there was like a painting of him, so that was cool. And then some kid was eating cereal that had Wolverine on it, so I guess that was a Wolverine cameo, sort of. I don't know, but man, there's just so much stuff in the movie that you could like talk about. All the jokes, everything was great about it, I thought. Except for that, it's just a little too dramatic at parts, just a little too much, but it's not horrible. So, yeah, that's about it, I think. 24 minutes, running on 25. Nothing else to mention, right? No. Okay, anyways, thanks for watching this whole thing. Let me know what you thought of the movie, obviously. If you're going to mention a spoiler, just make sure you warn people that your comment says spoilers in all caps so they know, so they don't read your whole comment and get spoiled. But yeah, just let me know what you thought of the movie. Do you think I made any mistakes in my analyzing of it, I guess you could say, of my, viewing experience? Yeah, and what rating would you give it? Do you think my rating was a little too high, a little too low, whatever? Yeah, so anyways, thanks for watching this, guys, and I plan to do more videos this whole summer, actually. I really want to. It's just I'm not 100% yet recovered from my sickness. I would say I'm like 90% maybe. Still got a bit of a cough. But by next week, I'm pretty sure I should be good to go. So once you start seeing videos uploaded on my channel, that means there's going to be more and more coming. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. And I think that's about it for now. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and have a good one. Bye-bye.